Welcome back to the channel, my loves. I am so happy to have you back on the channel for today's topic. I really want to share with you why I am no longer a feminist and my journey with healing my relationship to men and the masculine in my life. It has been one of the most transformative journey when it comes to, of course, my relationship to men and the quality of men in my life, but also just the relationship I have with myself and standing in the truth of being a devotee to true love. That's, my deepest devotion at the moment and something I've been really diving into in the last few years. And I want to share with you the process because, wow, just wow. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Lika. I'm a coach, a mentor, and I help you live a more empowered, sexy, successful, blissful life. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, a like, all the things that helps to support the channel. And let's jump right in, right? So for today's topic, it's a bit of a triggering one, I guess, for people. But you know how I am. I'm just going in those discoveries, digging stuff inside of me, transforming my own self. And then I come out of it and I'm like, hey, I just want to share it with you guys. So that's exactly what I'm doing today. I'm not pretending to own any truth. And sometimes I talk in the language of making generalizations. I'm trying not to. I'm really trying to speak in the first person just to take ownership of this is only my truth, only my experience, only what I found out along the journey. But I feel like people like me, coaches, mentors, people creating content, and I see it all the time. That's why social media is so overwhelming at the moment. It's just tons of opinions. And you should do this and you should do that. And this is the truth. And I'm right and you're wrong. And I want to escape this war because what I truly profoundly believe in is union, divine union. And it doesn't necessarily mean between a man and a woman, between, a relationship. Divine union is the union of polarities, the union of opposites, the union and the unity of humanity. That's what I profoundly believe in. That's the world I want to create for myself, my kids, my people, my tribe. And union only comes not when we, reject the bad or the evil or whatever, but when we embrace all polarity and we can come in a state of equilibrium, of dancing with polarities, dancing with opposites, dancing with contradictions, and really trying to live the more we can, as best as we can, in an energy of what is true and genuine and right for us. And I believe most human beings have good intentions, and we are love. We are pure love. It's just that, life gets in the way, woundings, hurt, a lot of things, and so we're far from being perfect. But I believe in the kindness in humanity, the good heart of people. And I want to be a stand for that. I haven't always been. And it's not an easy journey. It's not like love and light and rainbows and unicorns and butterflies all the time. But this is the most rewarding, empowering, beautiful journey ever. So the topic of today, what I really want to share with you guys is how I'm no longer a feminist. And it's been, again, a journey and an exploration. At first, I needed to become a feminist because I needed to take a stand for women and the feminine. And I wanted to fight oppression because also being a Libra, I hate injustice. And so when there is a power dynamic, when there is something where women are not treated with, we don't value the same qualities, it just frustrates me. And I had this anger and this rage. And the feminist movement, which means many things, right? Woo! Just breaking my house. I don't even know where to start because it's such a tricky, complicated subject. But let's go to the essential. I needed that power reclamation. I needed to feel empowered as a woman. I needed to be fighting oppression and knowing that, you know, I don't know, like I have full ownership of my body. I have full ownership of my freedom. And a big part of that, being a feminist, is it's just wanting more love and kindness for people in general. I think that's really what I wanted. And the thing is, when you go so deep on that journey, there's an underlying thing that happens, which is hating men. And I love men so deeply. I'm in deep reverence to men. But I have been resentful and angry and hating them unconsciously. And it has been a journey to come back to love for the masculine. You know, whether it's at an individual levels, like the masculines in my life, like my dad, my grandpa, like the lineage of men in my family, in my tribe, or in society in general, or the men in my life, like my boyfriends and ex-partners and ex-lovers and men in general, men in society and stuff. And there is a big distinction here between patriarcha and men. But unfortunately, sometimes it gets mixed up and confused, I think for some reasons, you know, there is maybe an agenda behind it, which I don't even give a shit about. But really, it's like the patriarcha hurts men and women equally, and people of all genders. So how do we heal? How do we move past that? In my personal experience, it has been a devotion, because I came at this state in my life where I didn't want to fuck around anymore. I didn't want to just fall in love with like random people, like just, you know, like there is a beauty of like just being open to love and just loving everybody and just, you know, going with the flow. And at some point in my life, I was like, you know, I want to call in the most epic relationship I ever had. And I'm calling in my king. And with that intention, you have to clean out all of the mess. Because you cannot call in a king and think that all men are trash, that you cannot trust men, that men are gonna hurt you, and all the unconscious stories that are running out. So the first step would be, for me, it was to bring up to the conscious all of those stories. Because of course I was not walking around thinking, I hate men. You know, like that was something that I was just very mistrustful of them, very like careful around them, thinking they didn't have any feelings, thinking that they are just here to hurt us and to control us, and I need to fight against them. There was this like, yeah, reclamation and fight, and that doesn't really feel good. On this journey, it has been, you know, many different practices, tons of devotional work to go and find out the places within myself that still carried those memories and the hurt and the pain and the fact that I projected on men. And another frustration of mine was growing up in a society where naturally I feel very feminine, but the entirety of conditioning and society has made me believe that there's something wrong with it, that those qualities of the feminine, so resting, loving, hoping, being spiritual, being intuitive, being connected with nature, being connected to my own inner cycle, periods, like blood, our menstrual cycle in general, our bodies, like sensuality. What else? Like, yeah, the quality of rest and slowing down and being alive and being soft and surrendered and being loving and kind and genuine and having hope. All of those notions are like, I grew up in a society where we don't give a shit. We don't give a shit about emotions. We kind of like look down on those, but we value so much power, money, like hustling, you know, working hard, a sense of responsibility, like all the masculine qualities, but we don't have the same love and respect for the feminine qualities. So I could see there were an imbalance in our society. There was something like that. And it was just outside, like within me, it didn't feel good. And I believe any change we can make, we have to do it within ourselves first. And that's, a lot of people are not willing to do this work because you guys, like I've been a hustler. I've been working hours to exhaustion. Let me tell you, it's easy to be a hustler in like, well, I have no idea. But I do believe it's easy to work your ass off in like, I don't know, like a Wall Street guy and, sleep 3 hours and just hustle. That's easy compared to doing your own shadow work, like diving within yourself to heal the root cause of pain and suffering and wounding and facing all of your demons and being committed to this journey no matter what. That takes courage. So if you're out on this journey, just deep reverence to you, because it's not an easy one. But so yeah, it's all about balance, right? It's not, I don't want to reject the part of me that stood up for myself and women's rights, but the line not to cross is coming against men and thinking that men has a life that is so much better. Like, we're all human beings and we are all suffering, and there is no way we can compare suffering. Suffering is unique and individual. And you cannot be like, oh my God, there is so much worse than me in life, or there is, I'm like, it's important to recognize privileges, but it is as important to not dismiss and gaslight ourselves and our own feelings, because everything is valid for everybody. A child will be crying over something that you may think is nothing and ridiculous, but for the child inside his system, inside his body, the pain is fucking real. And so we all carry pain. We all carry like wounds and stuff and limitations and things that are uncomfortable in our bodies. And we get to take care of each other in the process of that. So yeah, I guess it's a little messy. I want to do multiple videos because like I can tell I'm also getting a little tired. I'm tired, but I really wanted to record this video today. So we'll see what happens. Another thing too is being so strong as a woman that you no longer fear men. Because when we are so different, and now society is shifting in a weird way, or I know I say society as in like the environment that I observe around me. I might also just be living in my own bubble. We all do. And we're all influenced by whatever we consume and we absorb and we witness. But what I'm witnessing too is a little shift where we're making men really weak. Like, we're inviting men to be more feminine, like more vulnerable. We want them to show their emotions. And it created so many nice guys. And I see it along my male friends where, they really wanted to show that they were not like the narcissistic, toxic masculinity that, everyone is rejecting strongly now. So they went to the other side of the spectrum and became nice guys. But they have repressed within themselves so much of their masculinity, their masculine energy. And it creates, honestly, to receive these kind of men and to hang out with them, like really weak men. And we need a strong women, we need strong men. And, strong women are going to be different than a strong man. Like, that's why I'm no longer feminist. This energy of feminism is creating more separation. It's me against you. And there is an energy of fighting. And I'm not here to fight. That's the thing. I think that it creates another trap when you're like fighting oppression with more or fighting violence with more violence and being like, I want to be like a man. You know what I realized? I don't fucking want to be a man. I don't want to fight to have the same life and to prove I can do the same things. I don't want to be, so it shows up like, I don't know, in career or whatever. It shows up in life, like carrying my own groceries and be like, I'm a strong woman. I don't need a man. Like, I'm stronger than you. I can show that. Like, no, I'm not. Like, literally, a man's body is is like, I don't remember the thing, but it's like 4 times more testosterone, or maybe 25 more. I really don't have the statistics. I don't give a shit. There's a lot more testosterone in a man. They're physically stronger for a reason. And that's a work that has been, like, because at the same time, I want to hold so much space for the men in my life to be able to express their feminine, because, we all have both sides. But sometimes the problem is not men being feminine. Like, I see beautiful men in my life. They're very feminine in essence, and they're poetic, and they're inspired, and they're connected to nature, and they're caring and loving and soft. But then they have a strong masculine. So it balances it out. The problem is when they're naturally just feminine, but they have a complete lack and absence of masculine. And of course, it applies more to relationships and what I'm looking for as well. Again, it's very personal, very intimate, but I'm not looking for, with a man, I think, comes a natural sense of safety and security. He's the protector and the provider for the family. And there is something so sexy about a masculine man, isn't it? Like, I just feel so turned on by the masculine qualities in a man when it's fully embodied, and it's in integrity and with responsibility and ownership and a sense of power. The thing is that the examples I personally had in my life, and you probably have the same, we either see like very weak men, very feminine men, or we see like what we label toxic masculinity and control and oppression and violence and like crazy shit going on with that masculine energy. So we're afraid of it. So as women, we try to act like men. As feminists, we're like fighting for our rights and stuff. Like that's not like as a feminine essence, I believe my feminine wants to soften and open and love more and support and provide that care and that nurturing energy. I don't want to be fighting. I want to be loving more. That's the devotion that I am on, and that's a tricky one. When I don't know, the people around me, when I grew up, there is a lot of resentment. Like, there's a lot of fights, a lot of like trying to be right over each other. I don't want to have any part in that. And like, it is necessary, and it's just not the path that I am choosing. That's the path, or like I'm shifting. But I might change my mind in a couple of months or years from now, because again, a few years ago, I was very strongly obsessed with feminism and fighting for our rights and being so angry at the masculine and so angry at men and so angry at the patriarchy. And I was filtering every experiences and everything in my life through those eyes. Literally, I was like everything was a result of this patriarchal society, and I was so mad at it. But how is it serving? Like, if my rage is so valid, and I need to feel it, the feminine rage of like burning things down and those structures of oppression by burning them down inside of me first. But how is it serving me? How is it serving the people that I love for me to be in that constant anger, resentment, and rage? Like, it doesn't even feel good for people to be around me when I'm like that. Like, I have so many people that are still stuck in that, and I love them because there's this fire, it moves things. Like, everything is a balance. Like, I cannot have a conversation that's black and white and this is good and this is bad. That's not the point. And I'm just trying to be honest about the messiness of this journey as well. But what I would say about healing our relationship with men as well is like, the worst thing we can do as female towards the masculine is to judge and criticize them. We're constantly nitpicking at them, thinking they're never good enough, and we are kind of waiting around the corner that they fuck up. At least when I say we, I mean me. That was my own experience. Unconsciously, I was always waiting for something wrong with men and how they're gonna hurt me and how they're gonna prove that I cannot trust them. And I'm done with this story. Like, I'm really done. And I'm not saying like it's something you just switch the flip, like you flip the switch. And miraculously you just feel in love with the masculine. Your body has memories. You know, there's some stuff happening at a somatic level. Anyway, recognizing the masculine qualities and like letting myself evolve more in my feminine, which created a sense of like, okay, I've spent years building my own inner masculine. I needed to connect with my inner man, to take ownership and responsibility for me, to have my own back, to be able to hold and, you know, have this power. That was so important, which gave me so much more space. And the masculine was like of service of my feminine so that I can flow and be more creative and more loving and feel safer within myself. When it comes to relating, I am confident enough in my inner man that I want to delegate the masculine part. I don't want to be just working and hard and strict and have direction and leadership. I still want to embody, like in my work, I need my masculine energy. To get shit done, to be structured and organized, I need my masculine energy. And I know it's a bit messy because I'm talking about men and masculine energies and they're very different things, but that's also messy within me. So I'm just delivering the way it is. What I was saying. Yeah, but I want to spend more time with my feminine. The more feminine I become, the more I magnetize masculine men that can actually show the fuck up. And that's so sexy and scary when you're not used to evolve around very masculine men that are in tune with their masculinity without necessarily having the awareness of it, but they are, you know, they are strong protectors, providers, but they also have this masculine fire. And I think that's something I want to maybe do another video. How long I've been talking, yeah. Plus my video cut out. So in a future video, I really want to share about men's anger and like polarity and attraction, because that has been such a deep exploration of mine. I'm still on this journey. Like, I don't know anything. I'm not an expert on it. I'm just sharing with you my raw, vulnerable experience of it. But honestly, you guys, if you are on this same journey of true love and true devotion, and you want to call in a man in your life, and that's so funny though, because like I see so many of my friends, like, we are calling in that divine masculine partner, that king. And for so long we've been playing in the realm of the princesses, like, treat me like a princess, like, treat me well, like, I demand that you treat me well, and da 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 and da da da, and I want you to treat me like a goddess, and to kiss me like a goddess, to fuck me like a goddess, to protect me like a goddess. There is an ownership we can take as women as well, like how much suffering we also have inflicted to others. Like, I'm tired of like having this fight between like, oh, we're hurting more and they're not hurting, and like then they're hurting more. Like, we're all hurting, but we're also all loving and healing, and we can come together to create something fucking beautiful and epic. So I'm gonna leave you with that. I didn't realize when I pressed record how tired I really was, so I am fighting with myself. Like, my eyes are like barely open right now. Like, I'm really struggling, but I really wanted to have a moment, and it was a bit messy. I'm gonna do a few other videos around this topic because it's so exciting to my soul. Like, the way I feel around men, the reverence I have for men, how turned on I feel by the masculine qualities, how I've healed the fear of the masculine, the fear of men, and how I'm still healing the mistrust and all of that. It's just fascinating, and we're a few on this journey, and I love it, and I love to hear people's stories. So I really want to keep sharing mine as well. Hopefully it helps you. Hopefully it gives you some perspective. You know, I don't have the truth. Like, it's just the way I want to live my life. You get to choose how you live yours and how you want to see those polarities, and there is so much that goes into it. My video got cut again, so I'm just gonna finish this video telling you that live your life for yourself, explore, Be curious, be open-minded. Don't be too stuck on your opinions. I mean, I'm giving you unsolicited advice right now, but that's really what I'm saying to myself, because I have this tendency of being one extreme and then the other, and then one extreme, you know, like going from the feminist to like the anti-feminist and the this to that, and all is a dance, all is a matter of balance. That's, you know, being a Libra, I guess that's my life lesson as well. And I feel more peace and I feel more joy and fulfillment when I am balanced and you know, but I also, you know, yeah, I'm also opinionated. I'm French. And my only hope and dream is that we can be the carrier of deeper love and have more compassion and having a benevolent attitude towards humans in general. I think this world would be such a better world, and that's, you know, I'm not perfect at it, but I'm so committed to it. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.